Hello everyone, good day. I am Francisco Armando Vira Vega, and today I'm going to present to you the Learn Outcome 2 from the class Systems Thinking. Well, the first point of this Learn Outcome is a problem from the place I work. I currently work at COSAL in the engineering area of painting, laser, and sample printing process for car parts. In one occasion, a problem was detected in the finances and inventory areas because paint purchases were being generated in excess, causing that there was a lot of inventory of paint that wasn't needed at the time. So I was assigned to take consume tests of all the paints that were used in order to see what was the real consume the company was generating, and to make the correct purchases orders of paint in order to avoid excess inventory. Well, the model that best represents this problem is an iconic model. This model, because in the painting process, a validation of the paint that is going to be used is done first before the painting itself. Then after everything is correctly validated, the process begins. For this problem, I use an iconic model because when taking the paint consumes, I replicated the painting process for the validation part and for the painting part, so the quantity of the consumes can be nearly as exact as the normal process. What I did was to put first a validation of the paint and later put back into the paint sprayers for a minute to see the amount of consumed paint. Well, the third point is using structural models. This structural model that I use is for the paint consume test to reduce the inventory and saving costs. Level 1 consists in paint materials are causing excess inventory and money losses. The second level is take paint consumes test to see the real consumption and make adjustments in the system. The third level is to write a report of the outcomes of the tests. The fourth level is send information to responsible to make adjustments in the systems. And the fifth level is to notify warehouse and finances that the changes have been made and establish the method of testing paint consumes, in which each time a new paint is going to be used in the process, a test needs to be done. Well, the fourth point is a synoptic table about the problem that I'm talking about. Well, the first point about this synoptic table is the compensation between process and delay, in which the concept about this term is finances, warehouse, and productions all think that buying more paint components will benefit the company because there will always be inventory. But because of not having control on the inventory, it generates more than it can be stored. Who is it for? Well, it's for finances, warehouse, and production. How are you going to showcase it? Well, by doing an Excel report to update the painting materials in system and reduce costs. An additional note is that it is important to always maintain the enough material in warehouse, but not over exaggerate the quantity. The other term is about growth limits, in which this concept is about in my problem, because the company is gaining more projects every year. There was no worrying on thinking of the space and amount of money used for buying painting materials until they noticed they were losing money. This also applies for finances, warehouse, and production. I'm going to showcase this problem by doing, again, an Excel to report the painting materials system and to reduce costs. And for additional notes is limit the quantity of buying paint materials. The last term is load displacement, in which this concept about in the problem is about the method of analyzing paint consumes was always available, but because there was no problem detected prior to these events, it was not used before. Also, this applies for finances, warehouse, and production. And I'm going to showcase this term by doing an Excel report to update the painting material systems and reduce costs. And additional notes about this is to keep using the method of taking paint consumes each time a new paint is introduced. Well, then I made a flowchart about how was this problem resolved and how it started and how it ended. Well, the first step was the report to the engineering department that there is excess of inventory in paint materials. This was made by warehouse, logistics, finance, and production. Then the engineering material is to assign the activity of painting paint costumes to one of their members. That member is me. I took the consumes for the for the test and see how much paint is really consumed. Then I did on how to do the paint consumes because I didn't knew how to do it. But when when it was assigned to me, I began to learn how to do it, and then I learned it in the first trial. Then align the paint test with production and logistics. Then do the paint consume test. And later, after I finished the consume test, I developed a report of the results and sent it to the person in charge of putting the results in the system. And later, I asked myself if there were all the paints used, because there were like 9 to 10 paints. I repeat this process 10 times, approximately. Well, a descriptive chart about this problem is the first discovery of alternatives, because by analyzing that was causing inventory excess and money loss, it was asked to the engineering department to know how and what to do in the adjustments. Then, for development of acceptable solutions, previously the engineering team defined a method to analyze the quantity of paint the machine uses, so that method was used. Then, for the recollection and systemic analysis of information, we replicate the paint consume test with the normal process, so the results can be as real and certain as possible to the adjustments in the system. And finally, consideration of boundary rationality. By using clips and plastic bags, they were attached to the paint sprays, so the test of paint consumes can be achieved. The 7 steps of subsystem methodology in this problem are the next one. The stage 1 is non-structured problem situation, in which excess inventory and money loss at cost out. The second stage is problem situation, in which paint materials are causing a lot of money loss and excess inventory. The third stage, naming relevant systems, is that the main system is the painting process. So the solution was focused on reducing inventory and saving costs by implementing a solution in the area. The stage 4 is elaboration and testing of conceptual models. The conceptual model that is going to be used is doing tests with bags in the painting process. The 5th stage is comparison of conceptual models to reality. By doing the test and seeing the final outcomes, it can be seen how the process is being done. The 6th stage is execution of feasible and desirable changes. Once the tests are done, the results are sent to a person in charge to do changes in the system. And the final stage is implementation of changes in the real world. Once the data is uploaded in the system, the saving and inventory will reduce immediately. Importance of using system models in the solution of problems. Well, thanks to system models, the complexity of many in real-life problems that involve components and variables can be resolved. Models helps to stimulate the behavior of a system in different conditions. Optimal solutions can be found, the design and development of different alternative models, and most important, the continuous improvement in process. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your attention, and I see you in the next one. See you.